Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
After a year of shutdowns, cuts, and uncertainty, many former federal employees are struggling with stress and identity loss. Therapy4Feds offers free and low-cost counseling to help them cope and rebuild. Founder Roz Beroza is here to share why she launched the program and how people can get support. Roz, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, Terry.
It's been a tough year for federal employees. There's been a lot of uncertainty about jobs and missions. We've had shutdown. They got paid. They didn't get paid. What kind of a toll does that accumulation have on mental health?
It may look very differently for every person, but generally it has been a traumatic year, which trauma is very specific. It has a long shelf life, but initially it feels like you've been run over by a truck. You're disoriented. You could be in freeze. This is not just a financial loss. It's a multifaceted loss, almost as though a tsunami took everything. And internally, you lose your identity, you lose your future as you always assumed it would be. The toll for this is huge.
How does it manifest itself for folks on a day-to-day basis?
As I said, Terry, it's really different for people. Some people don't feel it. They just start doing what they need to do. Other people cannot get out of bed. Many people feel panicky. We saw that in the Washington Post article in March. There was an article about the effects on the federal employees, and they talked about suicide in that report.
So we're taking all of that, and now we're coming into a holiday period, which is always stressful in some way, shape, or form. But for folks who've lived through these last 9 or 10 months, and now maybe coming into the holidays with financial uncertainty, job uncertainty, how does that compound the situation?
It compounds it a great deal because you come into this time of year when you had particular traditions that might have been not felt like a financial cost, but this year cannot be. You can't do the same things you've always done. It's very painful. You can't buy your kids everything you wanted to buy them. That is a reminder, not just your thinking brain, but your whole nervous system. So it takes a lot of energy, and people can feel very exhausted.
Well, tell us about Therapy4Feds and why you launched this initiative for former federal employees.
Yeah, well, I launched it around May of last year, and I grew up around Washington, D.C., the government. Everybody worked for the government. Everybody's parents worked for the government. That's our industry here. And it felt like this can't be happening. The numbers that were predicted, but they started to happen, these huge, massive layoffs. And honestly, Terry, it was an effort to deal with my own despair. I needed to do something. And I looked for a while to see, is there another organization who's doing something that's really focused on the mental health of these government employees? And nothing was there. So I just started posting on websites.
I'm speaking with Roz Beroza. She's the founder of Therapy4Feds. Roz, tell us about the programs that you offer and how it makes mental health therapy accessible, maybe for people who've lost their jobs or who might be struggling financially.
Sure. Well, Therapy4Feds is sort of like a clearinghouse where somebody who has lost their job because of this administration's policies, so that's in 2025, can seek help from a licensed mental health therapist at either no cost or maximum cost of $35 per hour, 5 sessions. And at the end of those 5 sessions, they can either continue, they can use their insurance if they have it. It's up to the therapist and the person that is seeking the service. We also have partnered with an organization called Give an Hour, which also has been in existence since after 9/11. And so they're long-standing, and their mission is to give free health care to those in the military, people who have been victims of fraud, financial fraud, and people with rare illnesses. So we are working together to promote, and also if any of our people can draw from their pool of therapists, we're using the same pool.
Do you find with the former federal employees any resistance to seek mental health therapy?
You know, I don't really have a handle on that. I have a handle on the huge numbers that want it, that are at some time during this year, like after the CDC in Georgia, I received huge numbers of people who needed, and they would email me about being desperate to get some help. And at that time, I had 2 therapists in Georgia. You have to have somebody who is licensed in your state. So I have a huge effort out to get licensed therapists to join our network.
Tell us about how therapists who are interested can partner with you.
Well, they can go to my site, which is Therapy4, and that's number 4, Feds, and they can register on the site. And it's very quick to register. You have to, as I say, be licensed, have malpractice insurance, and we will. And what happens then is those that are seeking therapy go to their state, and they can choose somebody who's licensed in their state.
And for someone who's listening who might feel overwhelmed themselves right now, what's the first step they can take to get help?
Same. Go to therapy4feds.org, and there's a section there that says seeking a therapist.
I've been speaking with Roz Beroza. She's the founder of Therapy4Feds. Roz, thank you so much for sharing this important resource with us.
My pleasure. Thanks, Terry.
We'll post this interview and a link to the site at federalnewsnetwork.com/Federal Drive. Subscribe to the Federal Drive wherever you get your podcasts.